Hello, in this video I will explain how to use regular expressions to support testing with the INT4 Shield Lite. We will start by explaining some very basics about regular expressions. Then we will show them how they work using a sample online tool. Again, I've chosen regex101.com because it gives a great visibility on what you're actually doing with the regular expression. However, you can Google for any online tools for regex manipulation. And then we will use the created regex to actually set up an automation object variable and use it in a specific test case. So, on the regular expressions, it is basically a solution to find patterns in text and extract data. This is a tool that could be proved very complex and powerful. However, we will start with some simple use cases that will allow you to manipulate the basic elements of text files, and we will use an EDI message for the demo. What is quite important is that normally regular expressions, they just try to find the text that you put in. So if you put in ABC, it will try to find an ABC string in the message that we will provide. However, the power is given by using some special characters that are matching segments of data that could be different, that could be variable. And then, for example, a dot matches any character. Square brackets, they match a class of defined characters, or you can use a square brackets with an accent, and that matches all the characters except those that you defined. Plus sign requires at least one character to match, star allows any number of characters to match, question mark allows one character to match eventually. A very important section is parentheses because they mark a section of data to be captured. So you define the regular expression to define a context of the data that you want to find, but then you want to specifically say, hey, actually I don't need the whole line, but I just want the number that I want to change and replace. And then backslash escapes a special character, giving it a direct meaning. So for example, if you want to find a dot, if you want to find a plus sign in your message, you would need a backslash to escape it, so it will work directly as it is. We will use those special characters that are listed here in the example that we will be working on. Okay, so let me get into the API tester cockpit. I will go to the folder of using regular expressions that we've defined for the purpose of this demo. Okay, let me refresh the page. And here I have my regex example test case, and let's get into the details of that so you can see what we're trying to achieve. And again here, this is a test for an interface that would map an Edifact message, and you can see an Edifact message demo here, and I will copy that over to an iDoc. Okay, so now I jump to regex 101 website. Okay, as you can see, it shows you the test string. So here I have my test message from the EDI message. Here I can put the regular expressions, and here on the right I will see some explanation for that, and the match information will tell me exactly what I found. You can see that we could select some specific flavors here or the ways that it works. The defaults are good enough to start with. However, if you would look at the quick reference here, you can find some very complex examples. Not all of them will be directly represented in ABAP, so we will try to keep it simple just to make sure it works. And we will also show you how to validate that it actually is working correctly. So here, the first step would be to know what we want to find. And I know that we are interested in the purchase order number. Based on my knowledge on Edifact, I know that the purchase order number is hidden in the BGM section. However, you might find some references for Edifact on the web and find for the specific elements that you need. It's very similar if you would look into ANSI X12 messages. The rules would apply accordingly. Okay, so I can see some structure here. So I can see each line ends with an apostrophe. I can see that the segment is named BGM. There is some control parameters, and apparently the plus sign is separating the data. So let me just start simply by putting here BGM. Okay, and you can see that the BGM was found. Okay, but that's not enough. I'm actually interested in the whole string. So I also need a plus. Okay, now I see the plus wasn't found, and that's because I need to escape it, so it will work as a direct character. Okay, so I can see now my match is BGM plus, yeah? which is what I expected. Then I need 2 to 0, which goes in directly. Then I need again to match a plus, so I need to escape it again. And then I see that I will have a series of characters. Okay, so that series would be what? And then I could try to put various solutions. I think the simplest one is to say that, okay, it will end with a plus. So I can go for my selection string like this. I want to choose some characters. Okay, let's say I want to add some classes of characters. So I can have anything from A to Z towards anything from 0 to 9. And I want to have multiple of those. So here I use again plus directly. As you can see, I'm using this plus here without the slash because I want to find at least one such characters. And that's because I don't know how long this order number could be. Okay, so let me stay with this like that. And then I know it will end up with a plus. So I need a plus again at the end. And now, okay, I've matched the whole section. Okay, let me use now parentheses to say that that's exactly what I want to match is this order number. And you can see this highlighted now in a different color. And then you can see in the match information that there's a group found with exactly the data that I need. And that is quite sufficient right now to use this within the INT4 suite set of solutions. Just for the purpose of explanation, I can give you one more example. I know that this number will end up with a plus. So I can also say that I want to find any number of characters that are not a plus. So here I can use the apostrophe mark, and then I can say a plus here, and that means exactly after BGM plus 220 plus, I want to find at least one character that is not a plus sign, and then I want to have a plus sign after that. And as you can see, the captured group is exactly the same. This is probably a little bit better of a solution, but then you have to be sure that your order number will never contain a plus inside. Okay? So our regular expression here is ready, and it could be directly used now in the INT4 shield. Now we continue into the API tester cockpit. Let's get into the regex folder. And in the regex example, let us modify the automation object similarly to how we did it for XPath. So again, we go into variables, we go into edit mode, and we will create a new variable. Okay, let's call it year number. And read and replace within the test case. And again, we want to read the variable from saved message. And now we want to inform INT4 that we will be using regular expressions. So we put in regex, and then we will paste in the regular expression that we prepared previously. Okay, and close the parenthesis again. So remember, at regex we open the parenthesis and then we need to close it. And then again, let's replace it with a value. Okay, let's give it a random number this time. Why not? And let's see what was the number of the test case. Okay, and refresh. And okay, we see that CS-EDI PO753 was found and the new random value was generated. Using random values is not perfect because they could be actually randomly generated, but you could still get duplicates, but it will be sufficient for our test for this time. Let's click OK, and let's save the automation object. And now, when we will run this test case, we should observe that the test case will show a newly generated purchase order number in the response. Okay, let's give a moment for the system to execute the test. Okay, let's see what happened. Okay, we see we've got the results comparison. And again, we see that the order number was changed from the reference one to the one that was automatically generated by before. Thank you.